What's up, everyone? Welcome to the FAA podcast. Another mock draft going down tonight. Tonight we got the Giants and the Browns, two very difficult teams to have been a part of the last few years. But things looking up, at least for the Giants, anyways. Um, new head coach in John Harbaugh. You have new head coach for the Browns as well, Todd Monken, Harbaugh's former offensive coordinator. And, the Giants have quite a few young pieces, especially on the offensive side of the ball, but their defensive line has been pretty solid for a couple of years now as well. So, let's get into this mock draft. So we're starting off with the Raiders, of course, Fernando Mendoza. The Jets are going to go Ruben Bain. The Cardinals, they go Arvell Reese. The Titans are going Carnell Tate. We are on with the Giants. All right. No one's offering us trades. That is fine. So, again, I haven't gotten to updating the needs yet, but offensive tackle was my initial look at the Giants, and they re-signed Jermaine Illuminor. I wouldn't hate getting a tackle just for depth later in the draft. They do have Marcus Bowe. They drafted in the 5th round last year. Of course, Evan Neal can play tackle if he needs to, but with the re-signing of Illuminor, I don't think it's as big of a need. Interior offensive line, again, not as big of a need. They re-signed Aaron Stinney, and they still have John Runyon, John Michael Schmitz, and company, Evan Neal as well. Wide receiver. Now, that is still a need. They signed Darnell Mooney and Calvin Austin. I still think they need one. They need another dude that can help Malik Neighbors, especially since Neighbors is coming back off the torn ACL next year. Linebacker was my next one. They solidified that with the signing of Tremaine Edmonds from Chicago. They have Darius Muasau, the 6th rounder from 2024, going into year 3, which I really like. They also re-signed Micah McFadden, who I like, tackling machine as well. Corner's actually not bad at all. They did sign Greg Newsome to play opposite of Paulson Adebo, Drew Phillips in the slot, Deontay Banks, Nick Jones, Miles Purchase. I would like some corner depth more so than a starting corner, so probably not doing that right now. Safety, they did solidify that depth-wise, getting Jason Pinnock and Ardarius Washington. Tight end, they hit that home run with Isaiah Likely. I absolutely love that signing for them. And then punter, which they also hit a home run, Jordan Stout. They got Jason Sanders from the Dolphins at kicker as well. So the Giants are a little bit of a question mark in terms of now because of what they did. I don't think they will go pass rusher, considering they went Abdul Carter last year. I think they want to get Jackson Dart help. I just don't. If Carnell Tate's not there, I don't think it's Jordan Tyson time yet. They do have Caleb Downs on the board here. Francis Mauigoa, Sonny Styles. I mean, that's another just heck of a linebacker. Interior defensive line could be something to look at, but there's not really any top level guys here. So corner is there. I think I am just going to go best player available that will actually play. And I think I'm gonna go get the future tackle, and, they're saying wide receiver, guard, corner, linebacker, running back. Um, Running back, yeah, I guess with Scatterboo coming off the injury, Tyrone Tracy, Devin Singletary, Eric Gray, Dante Miller. They did sign Patrick Ricard in free agency. I don't know. This is a tough one. I don't like Tyson at 5. Um, and other than that, it's a very difficult projection here. So I would like to really go the best player available, and that's David Bailey. But I don't just mm, I don't see the Giants doing that, and I don't feel like the need is there. You can never have too many pass rushers, but you also cannot. You're also not going to get a ton of chances to pick at 5 if you're a good organization. And John Harbaugh doesn't run bad organizations usually, um, except for last year with the Ravens. But I am going to go Francis Maligoa with this pick here. It's a weird one for me. I think if Tate is there, definitely take the wide receiver. Now this sucks for the Browns. Okay, the Browns originally they did a lot of stuff in free agency. Interior O-line times 3. Well, they filled that. Tevin Jenkins, they re-signed. They have Zach Zinter, a third rounder going into year 3. They have Luke Whippler, a sixth rounder going into year 4. They signed Elkton Jenkins from Packers to be their center. They signed Zion Johnson from the Chargers to be the guard. QB, obviously, is the next one. Yeah, there's not a QB up here. Offensive tackle, they did trade for Titus Howard. DeJuan Jones coming back from the patellar tendon. So tackle is still definitely in play, I think. Wide receiver, big time wide receiver. They have one of the worst wide receiver depth charts. Jerry Jeudy's Tedrick Tillman, Isaiah Bond, Jamari Thrash, Malachi Corley, and company. Safety, they did re-sign Ronnie Hickman, but there's a lot of lack of depth. Corner, similar situation. They have Denzel Ward, Tyson Campbell, Miles Harden, very good. Lacking depth though. Linebacker, they signed Quincy Williams from the Jets. Carson Swessinger, your defensive rookie of the year this season. Depth. Nathaniel Watson, I like, 6th-rounder. Easton Mascarenas Arnold, Edifwan Olufosio, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah as well. Will he ever play again? We don't know. Kicker and punter, they re-signed Andre Smith and Corey Bjorquez. So I still think tackle could be in play. DeJuan Jones, we don't know. And plus, they do have KT Leviston, but I would much rather get a high-level future guy potentially at the position. This trade from Dallas isn't terrible. A 3rd-rounder this year, plus a 2nd and a 3rd next year for a 7th-rounder. It's not terrible, but I think that the Browns need to pick this thing. And when you look at the depth chart, at least on our lads, it's very devoid, especially on defense. They have a lot of cap casualties, free agents. There's not any showing features contracts wise. So I actually don't hate David Bailey. Myles Garrett needs someone on the opposite side, and they really don't have a ton. Alex Wright, Isaiah McGuire, but David Bailey's a dude, and I don't hate that selection. Quinton Judkins, yeah, I don't really see the Jeremiah Love need here. Caleb Downs would be an interesting one. That could definitely be a play. Jordan Tyson would be a really good play. Of course, Caleb Lomu as well. But I just think I'm going to go this one. I do feel okay with going best player available, and David Bailey's the best player. Some would say Caleb Downs, which I get, but I would go with the pass rush here to get after Lamar Jackson whoever is going to be playing QB for the Steelers, and of course, Joe Burrow. Caleb Downs, there you go, to the Commanders. Jordan Tyson to the Saints. That's a great pick. Monroe Freeling for the Chiefs. Sonny Styles for the Bengals. Rams coming up for Caleb Lomu, 13 and 93 to the Dolphins. Jermon McCoy to the Cowboys. Dylan Tieneman to the Dolphins. Kenyon Sadiq for the Ravens. Akeem Messidor for the Bucks. Mekhi Lemon to the Jets. Gosh, I wish we needed running back because Jeremiah Love is somehow falling. Keldrick Falk to the Lions. Jeremiah Love to the Vikings. Wow. Spencer Fano to the Panthers. And I don't know if they're going to do it. Or no. Okay, Spencer Fano just went. Never mind. Corner. I don't think either of these teams are going to go corner first round. Mansour Delane is a home run pick, though. Liva Vega Ione for the Steelers. Mansour Delane goes to the Chargers. The Eagles go Caden McDonald. All right, we're back on with Cleveland here. The Cardinals want to cut 10 spots, give up a third rounder, and the first pick in the third round and a fourth round pick, I believe that is. Not terrible. Colts want to come up for 23 spots, second rounder next year, and a fourth. I don't like that one as much. I think we stick here, okay? There's a lot of players we can go. Caden Proctor, Blake Miller, those are the tackles that we could potentially get. Omar Cooper Jr., Casey Concepcion, I think would both be fantastic. You look at Cooper, he's a little smaller slot, 6 foot 196. Concepcion, actually, wow, they're the same exact. That cannot be. Wow. Okay. Well, my bad. I thought Concepcion, he plays bigger. Okay. But I don't hate any of those guys right there. I think what I would rather do would be to go line. I would rather fill the trenches up. And so we already got the Browns a pass rusher to help Myles Garrett out. We got the Giants a tackle. I'm going to go tackle for the Browns here. Caden Proctor's a guy that can he's massive, 6'7", 352, but you can slide him inside if you need to as well. Potentially if one of these free agents doesn't work out. But I like him to play on the left side if DeJuan Jones is not ready. And regardless, he could be the future at one of the two tackle spots. Bears going Blake Miller. Bills get Omar Cooper Jr. Avion Terrell to the 49ers. Texans going CJ Allen. Chiefs going TJ Parker. The Dolphins with the trade today for Jalen Waddle get the 30th pick. Brandon Cisse. Packers coming up for Colton Hood, 52-84 and a second next year. Chase Besantis for the Seahawks. Lee Hunter for the Jets. Ty Simpson goes to the Cardinals. Wow. D'Angelo Pons to the Titans. Christian Miller to the Raiders. So my hope paid off. The Vikings want to come up 12 spots for a third round pick. No, sir. My hope paid off for the Giants. We got Malagoa at 5, and this is our last pick with New York. And we're going to stick and pick because Casey Concepcion can help out a ton with Jackson Dart. And that's where we're going. He can also help in the return game, has punt returns for touchdowns as well. So let's go Casey Concepcion here for the New York Giants to fill out their last mock draft pick here. Skylar Bell goes to the Texans. We are on the clock with the Browns. 4 spots for a third rounder next year. I like that actually. Lions want to come up 11 spots for Houston's 5th round pick and their 2nd round pick. I like this trade from the Dolphins. Get a 3rd rounder from Miami next year for 4 spots because, we got David Bailey, Caden Proctor, 4 spots. There are some guys here, but I'm okay with moving for a premium pick next year. It's good value as well. 15 points of value. They come up for Zion Young. The Chiefs get Caleb Banks. The Bengals, they're going Emmanuel McNeil Warren. Keith Abney goes to the Saints. So we go line again. The Niners want to come up 15 spots for a 2nd rounder next year. It's 18 spots for a 2nd rounder from Washington. I don't like either of those. So we got David Bailey, we got Caden Proctor, and now look what we have on the board here. It's a big-time wide receiver, 6'4", 212, Denzel Boston, touchdown machine. I believe he scored 20 touchdowns or something like that. 11 touchdowns last year, 20 touchdowns in his career, I think it is. But yeah, big-time frame, 6'4", 212. Chris Bell is here as well. He's a little smaller, 6'2", 227. But I really like Denzel Boston. I like the size. It, I think, would bode well with Jerry Jeudy, said Tillman, Isaiah Bond, and Jamari Thrash there. So give me Denzel Boston for the Cleveland Browns. Emmett Johnson goes to the Jets. Emmanuel Pregnon for the Ravens. Anthony Hill Jr. for the Bucks. Max Iheanacho for the Colts. Antonio Williams, the Falcons. Cassius Howe for the Vikings. Lions going Demetrius Crownover. Chris Johnson for the Panthers. Jeremy Bernard for the Patriots. Steelers going Chris Bell. Eagles get Jacob Rodriguez. That's wild to fill in a Kobe Dean hole. Joshua Joseph for the Chargers. Jacoby Lane for the Jags. Wide receiver run. Mike Washington Jr. for the Bears. A.J. Halsey for the 49ers. Jennings Dunker for the Texans. Malachi Lawrence for the Bears. Rams going Justin Jolie. Josiah Trotter for the Broncos. Oscar Delp to the Patriots. Sam Hecht for the Seahawks. Cardinals going R. Mason Thomas. Genesis Smith to the Titans. Falcons coming up for Keontae Scott. That's 79 and 114 to the Raiders. Ted Hurst goes to the Eagles. Caleb Tiernan for the Texans. Washington wants to move up 1 spot for a 7th rounder. Okay. 5 spots for a 5th round pick this year from the Dolphins. We'll see. Let me see what the board here has. So we got quite a haul already. David Bailey, Caden Proctor, Denzel Boston. What else do the Browns need? They need a quarterback. I don't think they're going to take one, though. I think they're going to roll with Shador and Dylan Gabriel, maybe Deshaun Watson as well. We'll see. But I would not hate doubling up on wide receivers. Corner would be one as well. Linebacker. So corner, we have Traden Stukes, 6'1", 190. Medical history there. Julian Neal's a guy I've heard a ton about. Draft process, 6'2", 203. So I would not hate that. Will Lee is going to be a really solid producer as well from the SEC. Parker Brailsford, your center. You got Keelan Rutledge, guard. David Stick-Benosin. So I like going with the corner here as our last pick with Cleveland. I'm going to go Julian Neal. Fill out that corner room. Elijah Surratt to the Commanders. Grayson Halton for the Bengals. Kamari Ramsey for the Saints. Chris Brazel for the Chiefs. Bryce Lance to the Dolphins. Steelers going Davis and Igbinosun. Jonah Coleman for the Bucks. Lewis Moore for the Colts. Raiders going Gabe Jacas. Will Lee the third for the Ravens. Takario Davis for the Jags. Chargers coming up for Keelan Rutledge, 86 and 204 to the Vikings. Eli Stowers for the Panthers. Deontay Lawson for the Patriots. Jake Golday for the Steelers. Vikings going Brian Parker the second. Max Clare for the Dolphins. Jags going to go Katron Allen. Connor Liu for the Bears. Dolphins going Parker Brailsford. Bill's going to get Traden Stukes off the board here. Drew Shelton for the Cowboys. Dolphins back-to-back. Favechi Nwaiwu. Austin Barber back-to-back O-lineman for the Dolphins. Jadarian Price. Seahawks moving up one spot for just swapping picks. Jalen Kilgore to the Patriots. Isaiah World to the Vikings. Eagles going to go deny Dennis Sutton. Steelers get Jude Bowery. And the Jags go Malik Muhammad to end out the third round. So here's what we got for the Browns. I really love this Browns draft here. David Bailey at 6 helps out Myles Garrett. You help out the protection at 24, getting Caden Proctor. Wide receiver at 43, move back a couple spots, pick up the Dolphins' third-round pick next year, and get Denzel Boston. And then you help out the corner room, get some depth behind Denzel Ward, and you get Julian Neal there for Cleveland. Just 2 picks for the Giants. We did not move around at all with them. I like these 2 selections. Francis Mauigoa gives them the future tackle, whether that's at left or right, with Jermaine Illuminor back in the fold, and Andrew Thomas still holding down the left side. And then get Jackson Dart a weapon at 37. Casey Concepcion helps out not only offensively, but in the return game as well. So I like these two drafts. I would say the Browns win, though. I think the Browns win this mock draft here. So that's all I have for y'all tonight. Thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media at FAA Podcast on Instagram and X, FAA_bets on X as well. FAApodcast.com is our website. You can check us out here on YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram, as well as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. And we will see y'all back on Thursday. And Thursday, we are going to be mocking for the Bears and the Bills. So 2 intriguing teams there. We'll see you then.